The story opens in the Galactic Council chambers on the neutral world of Nexus Prime. Ambassador Krell of the mighty Vorthan Empire stands before the assembled representatives of 12 major civilizations. His 4 eyes gleam with concern as he addresses the council. "Fellow beings," Krell begins, his voice echoing through the vast chamber. 3 rotations ago, our deep space monitors detected something impossible. A vessel has entered our galaxy from the void between stars. The council erupts in murmurs. Admiral Thane of the warrior race known as the Hunters leans forward. "Impossible? We've seen many ships, Ambassador. What makes this one special?" Krell activates a holographic display showing scanner readings. This ship measures over 50 kilometers in length. Our best estimates suggest it masses more than our largest battle stations. But that's not the strangest part. The hologram shifts to show energy readings that spike off every scale. The power output from this vessel exceeds anything in our databases. It's generating more energy than some stars. Dr. Vera of the Peaceful Healer Coalition shakes her head. No known technology could contain such power. The ship would tear itself apart. That's what we thought too, Krell replies grimly. But long-range sensors confirm it. The ship is real, and it's heading toward the galactic core at impossible speeds. Commander Rex of the Proud Eagle, Federation, crosses his arms. Have we tried to make contact? Any civilization capable of building such a vessel deserves our attention. We've sent messages on every frequency. Admiral Thane growls. No response. The ship continues on its path, ignoring everything in its way. The council chamber falls silent as the implications sink in. For thousands of years, these 12 civilizations have maintained balance in the galaxy. Each species had reached what they believed were the limits of physics and engineering. The Vorthan Empire controlled the largest territories with their massive fleets. The Hunters possessed the most advanced weapons technology. The Eagle Federation had the fastest ships. The Healer Coalition had mastered energy manipulation beyond any other race. But this unknown vessel challenged everything they thought they knew. There's more, Krell continues, calling up another display. Our scouts report that the ship passed through the Crimson Nebula yesterday. That region is filled with spatial anomalies that tear apart any vessel attempting to cross it. This ship didn't even slow down. Impossible, breathes Dr. Vera. The gravitational fields in that nebula would crush any known hull material. Yet, the ship emerged without a single scratch on its hull, Krell confirms. Whatever civilization built this monster has technology far beyond our understanding. Representatives exchange worried glances. Each of their civilizations had grown comfortable in their belief that they represented the peak of galactic evolution. The Vorthans had conquered 1,000 worlds. The Hunters had never lost a battle. The Eagles had explored every corner of known space. The Healers had unlocked the secrets of matter and energy. Now something from beyond their galaxy was making them all look primitive by comparison. We need to know who built this ship and what they want. Commander Rex declares, if they're hostile, our combined fleets might not be enough to stop them. Combined fleets? Admiral Thane scoffs. My people have ships that can crack planets. The Vorthan Empire has vessels the size of moons. What could possibly threaten us? Krell's expression darkens. 2 days ago, the ship encountered a pirate consortium battle group trying to raid a merchant convoy. 50 ships strong, including 3 heavy cruisers. The unknown vessel didn't even acknowledge their presence. He pauses, letting the tension build. The pirates opened fire with everything they had. Plasma cannons, quantum torpedoes, gravity bombs, enough firepower to level the city. Do you know what happened? The council waits in tense silence. Nothing, Krell whispers. Their weapons struck the hull and simply vanished. No explosions, no energy discharge, nothing. The ship absorbed every attack like it was feeding on the energy. Then it continued on its path, leaving the pirates floating in space, completely helpless. The implications hit the Council like a physical blow. If this unknown vessel could shrug off the weapons of 50 pirate ships without effort, what chance would any of their civilizations have against it? We must assume peaceful intentions until proven otherwise, Dr. Vera says, though her voice lacks conviction. Peaceful? Admiral Thane snarls. A ship with that much power isn't built for exploration. It's a weapon. As the Council argues, none of them notices the small human listening device attached to the chamber's ventilation system. On a ship hidden in the asteroid belt beyond Nexus Prime, Captain Jake Morrison listens to every word with a growing smile. The galaxy is about to learn that Earth's children have finally come home. Asterisk. 3 days after the Council meeting, the mysterious ship finally responds to hails. The communication comes not to any of the major civilizations, but to a small research station operated by the Healer Coalition on the edge of the spiral arm. Dr. Ben works alone in the station when his communication array suddenly activates. The voice that emerges is clear, speaking in perfect galactic standard despite coming from an unknown civilization. This is Captain Morrison of the Earth vessel Titan. We are responding to your scientific broadcasts. Permission to dock requested. Dr. Ben nearly drops his scanner in shock. He's been monitoring space for 30 years and has never heard of any planet called Earth. Titan. This is Research Station 7. I don't have docking facilities for a ship of your size. Understood, Doctor. We'll send a shuttle. Within an hour, a small craft approaches the station. Dr. Ben watches through his viewing port as the shuttle glides silently toward his docking bay. The ship is sleek and elegant, with smooth curves that seem to flow like liquid metal. Unlike the angular designs favored by most galactic civilizations, this craft appears almost organic. The docking process is flawless, and Dr. Ben hurries to the airlock. When the door opens, he finds himself staring at 3 beings that look remarkably similar to several known species, yet somehow different. Captain Morrison stands tall with bronzed skin and steady dark eyes. His companion, Lieutenant Sarah, has pale skin and bright blue eyes that seem to take in everything at once. The third member, Engineer Tom, appears stockier with calloused hands that speak of practical experience. Dr. Ben, thank you for granting us permission to dock, Captain Morrison says with a slight smile. We've been monitoring galactic communications for some time. Your research on quantum field manipulation caught our attention. Dr. Ben struggles to maintain his composure. You're human, aren't you? But that's impossible. Humans are extinct. They vanished from the galactic stage over 3,000 years ago. Extinct? Lieutenant Sarah raises an eyebrow. I can assure you we're very much alive. Though we did leave this galaxy for a while. 3,000 years, Engineer Tom says thoughtfully. That matches our timeline. We've been away exploring other galaxies, developing new technologies. Dr. Ben's mind reels. According to galactic history, humans had been a minor species that disappeared during the Great Expansion. Most civilizations assumed they had died out, unable to compete with more advanced races. Your ship, Dr. Ben manages. The Galactic Council is terrified of it. They think it's some kind of super weapon. Captain Morrison chuckles. The Titan? She's not a weapon. She's an exploration vessel. Though I suppose after 3 millennia of advancement, our technology might seem intimidating to those who haven't progressed much. Haven't progressed? Dr. Ben feels a flash of indignation. The Healer Coalition has mastered energy manipulation beyond anything your ancestors could have imagined. Engineer. Tom examines one of the station's power conduits with interest. Impressive work, Doctor. You've achieved roughly 30% efficiency in your energy conversion systems. That's not bad for a Type 2 civilization. Type 2? Dr. Ben asks, confused by the classification. civilizations that can harness the energy of their entire star system. Lieutenant Sarah explains patiently. Most of the galaxy is still working on Type 1, planetary energy manipulation. Humans achieved Type 3 status about 2,000 years ago. Dr. Ben's legs feel weak. Type 3 meant galactic-level energy manipulation, something the greatest scientists of his species considered theoretically impossible. The Galactic Council will want to meet with you, he says finally. They're concerned about your intentions. Of course they are, Captain Morrison nods. We've been monitoring their communications. Quite entertaining, actually. 12 civilizations convinced they represent the peak of evolution, suddenly faced with evidence that they're still in the galactic equivalent of elementary school. You've been spying on the Council? Not spying, Engineer Tom corrects. Observing. When you can process information at quantum speeds across galactic distances, privacy becomes somewhat relative. Don't worry, we haven't interfered with anything important. Double quotes. Dr. Ben sits down heavily. What do you want? Why have you returned? Captain Morrison's expression grows serious. We've been exploring other galaxies for 3,000 years, Doctor. We've seen civilizations rise and fall, witnessed the birth and death of species, encountered wonders beyond imagination. But this galaxy is still home. He gestures toward the viewing port, where distant stars twinkle. We've returned because we've detected something approaching from intergalactic space. Something that makes the Titan look like a child's toy. The galaxy will need to be prepared. Prepared for what? War, Lieutenant Sarah says quietly. The Devourers are coming, and they've already consumed 17 galaxies. This one is next. Dr. Ben stares at the humans, realizing that the galaxy's problems are just beginning. Asterisk. The emergency session of the Galactic Council convenes within 12 hours of Dr. Ben's report. Every major civilization sends their highest-ranking officials, and several minor species request observer status. The chamber buzzes with tension, and barely contained panic. Captain Morrison stands at the center of the assembly, flanked by his crew. Unlike the elaborate uniforms and ceremonial garments worn by the various ambassadors, the humans wear simple, practical clothing that somehow manages to look more impressive than all the pageantry around them. Ambassador Krell of the Vorthan Empire speaks first. Captain Morrison, you claim to represent humanity, but humans disappeared millennia ago. How do we know you're not imposters from some unknown civilization? Captain Morrison touches a device on his wrist, and suddenly the air above the assembly shimmers. A holographic display appears showing Earth as it had been 3,000 years ago, then transitions to show vast fleets of human vessels departing the galaxy. Scans will confirm our identity, he says calmly. But more importantly, our ship's database contains complete historical records of every major galactic civilization. Would you like me to recite the private battle plans of the Vorthan Third Fleet, Ambassador? Krell's four eyes widen in shock. Those plans were classified at the highest levels. Admiral Thane of the Hunters leans forward aggressively. Impressive parlor tricks. But you claim there's a threat to the galaxy. Why should we believe anything you say? Because, Lieutenant Sarah interjects, you don't have a choice. The Devourers will arrive in approximately 4 galactic rotations. Your combined civilizations, as they currently stand, have 0 chance of survival. Impossible, Commander Rex of the Eagle Federation declares. Our defensive capabilities are beyond anything the galaxy has ever seen. Engineer Tom activates his own device, and the chamber fills with tactical displays showing fleet compositions, weapon capabilities, and defensive systems for every civilization present. The detail is staggering, down to individual ship specifications and crew complements. Your most powerful weapons generate roughly 10 to the 15th joules of energy per discharge, Tom explains. A Devourer drone ship can absorb 10 to the 20th joules before showing damage. A single drone is more powerful than your entire combined fleets. Dr. Vera of the Healer Coalition studies the displays with growing horror. These energy readings, they're beyond our instrument's ability to measure. Which brings us to why we're here, Captain Morrison continues. Humanity has spent 3,000 years preparing for this threat. We've encountered Devourer scouts in distant galaxies. We know what's coming. And you expect us to simply trust you? Ambassador Krell demands to abandon our sovereignty and follow your lead. Captain Morrison sighs. I was hoping to avoid this, but it seems a demonstration is necessary. He speaks into his comm device. Titan, are you ready? The response comes clearly through the chamber speakers. Ready, Captain. Targets acquired. Through the viewing ports, the assembled delegates can see space around Nexus Prime. Suddenly, 12 massive shapes materialize out of thin air. Vorthan battle cruisers that had been lying in ambush, fully cloaked and ready to strike if the humans proved hostile. Your ambush fleet is impressive, Captain Morrison acknowledges. Shall we see how it measures against obsolete human technology? Before anyone can protest, beams of pure energy lance out from empty space. The Vorthan ship's shields flare and collapse instantly. Their weapon systems go offline. Their engines shut down. Within seconds, 12 of the most powerful warships in the galaxy are floating helplessly in space. How? Admiral Fane breathes. The Titan is still in orbit around your star. Engineer Tom explains casually. Distance is irrelevant when you can manipulate space-time directly. We could have disabled every ship in the galaxy simultaneously, if necessary. You attacked Vorthan vessels. Ambassador Krell shouts. We disabled them, Captain Morrison corrects. No permanent damage, no casualties. Your crews are perfectly safe, though probably quite confused. Consider it a gentle introduction to the technology gap we're discussing. The chamber erupts in shouting and accusations, but Captain Morrison raises his hand for silence. Somehow, every voice in the assembly stops mid-sentence. The power you just witnessed represents our oldest, most basic technology, he says quietly. We have weapons that could turn your stars into black holes, ships that exist in 17 dimensions simultaneously, and defenses that could protect this entire galaxy from anything short of a supernova. He pauses, letting the implications sink in. But the Devourers have technology that makes ours look primitive. They've consumed civilizations that were already Type 4 on the advancement scale. They don't negotiate, they don't take prisoners, and they don't leave survivors. Dr. Vera finds her voice first. What do you propose? Integration, Lieutenant Sarah answers. We share our technology, help you advance your civilizations by several thousand years in the next 4 rotations. In exchange, you contribute your unique strengths to the defense effort. And if we refuse? Commander Rex asks. Captain Morrison's expression hardens. Then we evacuate what populations we can to distant galaxies and leave the Devourers to consume everything else. The choice is yours, but decide quickly. Time is running out. The integration process begins immediately across 12 worlds, but it proves far more challenging than anyone anticipated. On the Vorthan homeworld of Nexus, massive human construction ships work alongside local engineers to build new defensive installations. Engineer Tom stands in the primary construction bay, watching Vorthan workers struggle with human technology. Despite their advanced engineering capabilities, the conceptual gap proves enormous. The quantum resonance matrix isn't aligning properly, complains Chief Engineer Vex, his 4 arms manipulating multiple control interfaces simultaneously. These power conduits require precision beyond our manufacturing capabilities. Tom examines the partially constructed defense platform. The issue isn't your manufacturing, Chief. It's your understanding of dimensional mechanics. You're trying to build in 3 dimensions when this technology requires working in 11. 11 dimensions? Vex's eyes widen. That's impossible. There are only 3 spatial dimensions. That's what your civilization believes, Tom agrees patiently. But reality has 11 dimensions. You've just never learned to perceive or manipulate the other 8. Meanwhile, on the hunter homeworld of Kroth, Admiral Thane watches human instructors attempt to teach his warriors new combat techniques. The hunters pride themselves on being the galaxy's ultimate soldiers, but they're struggling with concepts that human children learn in basic education. Focus your mind on the quantum field. Instructor Davis explains to a group of hunter elite guards. Warfare at our level isn't about physical strength or conventional weapons. It's about manipulating reality itself. Warrior King, one of the hunter's most decorated veterans, growls in frustration. We've mastered every weapon ever created. We've conquered 100 worlds. How can we be so helpless against these concepts? Because, Davis explains gently, your species never developed beyond Type 1 civilization status. You learn to manipulate matter and energy within your planetary systems, but you never learn to manipulate space, time, or dimensional barriers. The cultural shock spreads across every integrated world. On the Eagle Federation's capital planet, Commander Rex watches his fastest ships being completely rebuilt from the inside out. Your vessels are beautiful, Captain Morrison acknowledges, examining the sleek lines of an Eagle interceptor. Elegant design, excellent craftsmanship. But they're limited by your understanding of physics. Limited? Rex bristles. These ships can cross the galaxy in days, using conventional space-time, Lieutenant Sarah points out. Our shuttlecraft can cross 17 galaxies in the same time by folding. Dimensional space. Watch. She activates a small device, and suddenly they're no longer in the shipyard, but standing on a planet in a distant galaxy. Stars wheel overhead in unfamiliar patterns, and 2 suns cast double shadows on an alien landscape. This is Galaxy NGC 4472, Sarah explains as Rex stares in shock. We're currently 14 million light years from your homeworld. The trip took 0.3 seconds. Rex's knees buckle. Impossible ... Not impossible. Just beyond your current technological paradigm. Sarah activates the device again, and they're instantly back in the shipyard. Your species will learn, Commander. But it requires abandoning everything you think you know about the universe. The psychological impact proves as challenging as the technological gap. Dr. Vera works with human medical specialists on the Healer homeworld, trying to understand biotechnology that seems like magic. These nanobots can repair cellular damage at the quantum level, Dr. Lisa explains, showing Vera a microscopic sample. They don't just heal injuries. They can upgrade biological systems, enhance mental capacity, even extend lifespans indefinitely. Vera studies the readouts with growing amazement and horror. You've conquered death itself? Not conquered, Lisa corrects. Simply made it optional. But the real breakthrough is consciousness transfer. We can upload minds to quantum storage, preserve them in crystalline matrices, even transfer them between bodies. You're describing the abilities of gods. No, Doctor. We're describing the natural progression of any civilization that survives long enough to reach Type 3 status. Your species will achieve these same capabilities, given time and proper guidance. But not everyone adapts well to the revelations. On a dozen worlds, religious leaders struggle to reconcile their beliefs with the new reality. Political factions emerge, some embracing human guidance, while others resist the fundamental changes to their societies. Ambassador Krell finds himself dealing with riots on 3 Vorthan colony worlds. The people are terrified, he reports to Captain Morrison via quantum communication. They say we're losing our identity, becoming something inhuman. Growing pains, Morrison responds sympathetically. Every species goes through this phase. The key is helping them understand that they're not losing their identity. They're expanding it beyond current limitations. And if they refuse to expand, Morrison's expression grows grim. Then they'll die when the devourers arrive. Evolution isn't optional, Ambassador. It's survival. As the fourth rotation approaches, the galaxy stands transformed yet fragmented, powerful yet uncertain. The real test is about to begin. Asterisk, the devourers arrive without fanfare, emerging from the void between galaxies, like a plague of living darkness. Their ships, if they can be called ships, are organic constructs the size of moons, pulsing with malevolent energy that makes reality itself. Shiver. Captain Morrison stands on the Titan's bridge, watching the sensor displays with grim satisfaction. Fleet status report. All integrated forces report ready, Lieutenant Sarah announces. 12 civilizations, 8,000 ships, unified command structure operational. Energy grid? Engineer Tom checks his displays. Galactic Defense Network is online. Every star system is now linked through dimensional conduits. We can channel the power output of entire suns directly to any point in the galaxy. Through the viewing port, the assembled fleet stretches beyond visual range. Vorthan battle cruisers fly alongside Hunter assault ships. Eagle interceptors dart between massive Healer Coalition medical frigates converted to mobile hospitals. For the first time in galactic history, every major civilization fights as one. But even this unprecedented unity seems insignificant against what approaches. First Devourer construct slides into normal space near the galactic rim. It's larger than anything the galaxy has ever produced, a writhing mass of organic metal that seems to exist in more dimensions than the eye can process. Smaller entities, each the size of battleships, swarm around it like antibodies around a virus. Contact, Sarah reports. The lead construct is transmitting. The communication that fills the bridge isn't heard so much as felt, a presence that presses against their minds with the weight of cosmic hunger. We are the harvest. You are nourishment. Resistance is inefficient. Admiral, Thane's voice crackles over the come from his flagship. All Hunter squadrons, weapons hot. These things want to fight. Let's give them one. Negative, Morrison commands. Hold position. Let them reveal their capabilities first. The Devourer construct extends tendrils of dark energy toward a nearby star system. The tendrils touch the system's sun, and the star begins to dim, its light being literally drained away. My God, Dr. Vera whispers over the comb. They're feeding on stellar energy. Not just energy, Tom corrects, reading his instruments in horror. They're consuming the quantum structure of matter itself. That star isn't just dying. It's being erased from existence. Within minutes, the star vanishes completely, leaving only empty space where a solar system once thrived. The Devourer construct pulses brighter, having absorbed not just the star's energy, but its very essence. Now you understand. Submit, and your ending will be swift. Now, Morrison says quietly. Across the galaxy, the integrated defense network activates. Energy drawn from 1,000 suns channels through dimensional conduits, focusing on the lead Devourer construct. The combined power output equals the energy released by supernovas. The beam strikes the construct and simply disappears, absorbed without effect. Impossible, Commander Rex breathes. Nothing can absorb that much energy. The construct extends more tendrils, reaching toward inhabited systems. But this time, something stops them. The tendrils strike invisible barriers and recoil as if burned. Dimensional shields are holding. Tom reports with satisfaction. Turns out their energy absorption has limits when the power comes from folded spacetime. W.A.R.E. surprised. This requires adjustment. More constructs emerge from hyperspace, dozens, then hundreds. Each one the size of a moon, each one radiating power that defies measurement. The galaxy's greatest nightmare has become reality. All ships. Execute Protocol Omega. Morrison commands. Across the fleet, vessels begin to change. Hulls flow like liquid, reshaping themselves into configurations that hurt to look at. The ships are transitioning into higher dimensions, becoming partially unreal. The Hunter fleet attacks first, their newly enhanced weapons firing bolts of crystallized spacetime. Where the bolts strike Devourer constructs, reality itself tears open, creating wounds that bleed energy into parallel dimensions. Vorthan ships deploy dimensional anchors, locking sections of space into three-dimensional reality where the constructs can't phase shift to avoid attacks. Eagle interceptors dart through folded space, appearing inside enemy formations to deploy quantum mines. The Healer Coalition reveals their greatest surprise: medical ships that can literally heal damaged spacetime, repairing the tears the Devourers create when they feed. The battle rages across 17 dimensions simultaneously. Stars die and are reborn. Planets phase in and out existence. The very fabric of reality becomes a weapon, but humanity's greatest contribution isn't their advanced technology or dimensional weapons. It's their gift for inspiring others to exceed their limitations. As the battle reaches its climax, Ambassador Krell finds his Vorthan crews performing feats of engineering they never thought possible. Admiral Thane watches his warriors fight with courage that transcends physical reality. Commander Rex sees his pilots navigate through dimensions that don't technically exist. Dr. Vera, treating wounded across 12 species, realizes that the real victory isn't defeating the Devourers. It's proving that evolution never ends, that consciousness always finds a way to grow beyond its current boundaries. The galaxy has learned to reach for godhood, and the universe will never be the same. Asterisk.